Welcome to another edition of Pod Jerky. On today's episode, we have a very special guest. And for those of you that listen to our show, I've been trying to get him on ever since we had Adam Bush on the show. So please welcome the star of the TBS sitcom Men at Work, co-star of the Netflix series Good Girls, co-star of Las Vegas, co-star of Rebel and Uncle Buck. Really just way too many to name. James Lesure.
Come on.
Did I get that right?
Harmon, appreciate you, man. Thank you. What a run-up.
Yeah. So how you doing today?
Feel good. I'm solid. Sun is shining where I am. Thankful for that. I'm feeling healthy. How about you?
Yeah, we're you're out in on the West Coast, right?
Yeah. I'm residing in Los Angeles right now.
Yeah, so I'm out in Canada, so we got a little bit of cold weather right now.
That's what you guys do over there.
Yeah, we do that. I mean, you know what? Our summers are really, really warm here. I mean, we hit Celsius. We're hitting 30, 32, which is, around 95 around there. So our summers are really, really nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you born and raised there?
I am, yes.
I respect you. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome here. I love it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting too old for the winters. The cold bothers me a little bit, but the summers I really enjoy. The spring is nice. Fall's nice. So yeah.
Dig it, really.
Yeah.
What does that mean you're a hockey player because you're from Toronto? What does that mean?
I'm not a hockey player. I'm a hockey fan.
Okay.
But I'm not a hockey player. I'm actually a baseball player. Like I was a baseball player. I'm a little too old for that now, but yeah, I played baseball in my youth.
Respect. Yeah. I enjoy that sport as well.
Yeah.
But with so much cold out there, how are you all able to play baseball?
So the baseball season runs from April till October. And then the cold weather starts to kick in around now. So like now, I think today here it was 52, 54 degrees here. So it wasn't terrible. But it's going to start getting into the like negatives in the weather.
Yeah. Y'all are tougher than me, man. That's tough. 52. Let's go inside and put on a big jacket.
Yeah. We put on our mitts and our hat and we just go about it, right?
There it is.
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. Like I said in the introduction, I've had Adam Bush on the show 3 or 4 times now. Fantastic guest. And I bugged him a lot. I was like, please get James. Like, do you still talk to James? And he was like, I do. I'm going to try and get him on. He's like, he's not really into the whole social media thing. So it's harder to get a hold of him. So he finally gave me your email address to get you on. I was so excited. I was like, that's great that you finally got in contact and we're coming on the show.
Tom, I'm flattered that you would even want my company, man. I appreciate it. And to your point, I do think Adam is a good company as well. I was just fortunate to be spending time with him last week. We had lunch and a good catch up last week. And we actually, maybe a week before that, we had a lunch and a catch up with Michael Cassidy, who worked on Men at Work with us as well. So those guys are still dear to me.
Yeah. Like I got to tell you, like we watched all 3 seasons of Men at Work. I wish that show continued. I mean, it was one of our favorite shows. It was an awesome show that was on TV. It's just too bad that it got canceled, I guess, after the third season. We had a really good time watching that show. It was really funny.
That warms my heart, man. That pleases me because it was a special experience for me. And I'm glad we got to do it. And like you, I wanted us to continue. But other people had different things in mind.
Yeah. But now you're working on different projects. And did you find that over the past couple of years that COVID has affected that in a major way?
I've been very fortunate that I've been able to work through COVID. We got to do Rebel. We got to do 10 episodes of Rebel during that. And I was just blessed to be on another project for HBO here. I had a little small part on it. So I worked a couple of months on that as well. So, people are adjusting, and I'm really grateful that I've been able to work through this challenging time.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And so you debuted, I guess, in 1995, right? It was on a O.J. Simpson story as a police officer. What got you into the acting? What got you the acting bug?
Yo, Tom Harmon, how'd you find that out, man? I mean, who's talking?
I do my research.
Yo, that's good. You're good. You know what? I went right after high school. I went to the Air Force Academy Preparatory School just because I had really no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And so, the family was strapped to pay for college at that time, but the Air Force Academy afforded us the opportunity to study and to get paid for studying. So I was like, I'll check that out and see what that was like. And so I went there and gave it a shot, and I liked it very little. And so I left the military, and I thought, well, what do I want to do with my life? And those quiet nights, of introspection, it came out that I wanted to entertain and act. And so from the time I left there, I've been pursuing it ever since.
Yeah, and you've actually got into like some like really major shows. I mean, you were on Uncle Buck, which is unfortunate because I actually didn't even know about Uncle Buck because I guess the advertising here in Canada wouldn't be the same as it is in the US. So I didn't even actually know that show had been on television.
That's hurtful to hear. That's hurtful to hear. We want to entertain you all over there too. Come on now.
Right.
Somebody's got to step up what they're doing. Come on.
Yeah. And some of the channels that we get here, I mean, we still have some of the American channels here as well. It's not that much different, but I think it's more of the advertising. So I think when the advertising comes on during those shows, like during different shows, we get Canadian commercials instead of the American commercials. So we don't see the American advertising. We see the Canadian advertising.
Gotcha.
So I think that's why we miss out on a lot of this stuff. And it was the same for Men at Work. I never knew about that until I saw it online. To actually see that show. So we never saw that advertising. And then after we had watched the show, then we started to see advertising on television. And it was like, okay, now we're starting to see it. So maybe it just started to get a bigger run. And then the advertising started to kick in a little bit. So I think that's the problem here between here and the US, right? Like even during the Super Bowl, we don't get the American commercials. We get Canadian commercials for the most part. So we don't get to see a lot of that stuff. So.
Understood. I mean, that's frustrating that that disconnect because I know, I do things. I want to entertain as many people as possible, so I want to get it out to as many people as possible. So I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Definitely. Yeah, and one of the next favorite shows that we actually got into was Good Girls. And you had an opportunity to be on that show. We watched that whole entire series. It was an excellent show. What did you think about being on that show?
Yeah, it was a blast. Initially, I think my part was relatively small, but they were kind enough to expand it for me, and they really made it familial. And when I went there, I felt like we were all part of this ensemble, and the cast was so talented, really good to work with, and that was a joyful experience, and I love the reaction I get from it because people tend to hate the character I played on it, and I don't know, that gives me some pleasure.
Yeah, and for those who haven't watched it, you played FBI agent Turner. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it, but you have a run-in with the girls, you have a run-in with Rio. It was just it was really cool on TV, and it was funny. With the first time I saw you on TV, my first reaction, I was sitting with my wife, we were watching it, and I was like, Gibbs. I was like, there's Gibbs. And I was like, that's awesome. I was like, he's in the show. So we were really happy with that. So it was really, really cool to see.
Oh, it's nice to hear. Thank you for that, man.
Yeah. And so okay, go ahead.
Nah, you just really reminded me of Men at Work, because I really did think that was a special thing we had there. Like us four guys were, really tight and just really enjoyed, doing the whole thing. And give shout out to Breckenmeyer and the late great Jamie Tarsis, who's gone on to better places for putting that together. And I don't know, we're happy to do that, man.
Yeah. So while we're on that topic, I guess, of Men at Work, do you have any favorite episodes from that show that you enjoyed the most?
Oh, wow. No, I wouldn't say favorite episode. I remember we did one episode though, where I think it was early on too. We were it was Danny Masterson character of mine, and we were trying to negotiate Bermuda Triangle with the goddess. And I thought that was especially funny, and I wanted us to do it in front of a live audience, but we didn't. For whatever reason, it was a scheduling issue. We had to tape it beforehand. I was really sort of disappointed because I thought a live audience's response to what we were doing could have been, added fuel to what we were doing. So I remember that being an experience.
Was that the one with Stacy Keibler?
I think, yeah,
yes.
I think so.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite episodes too. And then
good to hear.
One of the ones where you slept with Tyler's maid. And you say, I wasn't supposed to. And one of the really good ones was the when you had the dog, and you said, I don't like dogs, and then you named the dog Gib, right?
Yeah.
So we had a really good laugh at that. That was a really, really good episode. So
good. It's good to hear.
Yeah. And you still keep in touch with all of these people, like all the cast members. I know for sure it's Adam Bush.
Just texting with Danny a week ago as well, and I was, fortunate enough to spend, person-to-person time with Michael and Adam, and so they're very dear to me, all of them still.
Yeah, Adam is really, really good. We actually did a virtual podcast convention, and he actually came on live with us and did a show with us live, and then he became part of a game show that we were running on the convention as well. And
wow.
So and then I run two different shows. So I run this show and I run the Northern Touch show as well with a hip hop artist here. And he was nice enough to come on to the Northern Touch show as well. And he actually played a live song, one of his original songs. So it was really cool to have him on.
Yeah, this dude's got so much talent. I enjoy him personally, but his talent is something I respect and enjoy as well. Like, he's a musician and great actor. So that's cool to hear. You're working hard over there, dude.
Yeah,
you're doing a lot.
Well, it's interesting because when I started this, like a lot of people started the podcasting because of COVID and got into the whole thing just because they were in lockdown. And I started a couple of months before COVID actually hit and locked us down and stuff. And I was just, interested in saying like, hey, let's just go on. Let's just talk a bunch of nonsense and see what happens. And let's just roll with it. And then I ended up getting Ken Shamrock on the show. I don't know if you know Ken Shamrock from the UFC. He was one of the pioneers of the UFC, so I ended up getting him on.
I'm not afraid of him. Go ahead. I'm not afraid of him. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he was in the WWE as well. So I got him on the show, and I was like, wow, I'm getting somewhere with this. So I was like, it was really cool to do. And then I reached out to Adam, and Adam responded. And then I had Matthew Moy from Two Broke Girls, the diner owner. He came on the show as well. So we still keep in touch with him as well. And I was just like, this is cool. I was like, I get to talk to people that I'm actually watching on television. And I enjoy doing that. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, please put me in your Rolodex over there, dude. Your podcast Rolodex.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're feeling the thought or inspiration, feel free to reach out, man.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I mean, because I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, it would be cool to have Adam and James on at the same time, do like a show together, see if we can get that lined up.
I have no desire to share any of that time with Adam. That is it could be an issue. No, I would love that, King. That would be perfect. Yeah. This is, I mean, like, it's funny you talk about favorite moments on that show. There was, I don't know if you remember the episode where it was revealed that Adam's character was very well endowed.
Yeah.
You remember that episode? Yeah. And we all wanted to see it because we just had to know what the deal was.
Yeah.
Just the rehearsals leading up to that thing. Thomas, I'm literally crying, man, because Adam was playing it so straight and so perfectly to me. Like, that whole week of rehearsal was just a joy to play.
Yeah.
Well,
see, we don't get to see that, right?
I know. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I mean, I guess that's just for us, and that's fine. But I mean, it's part of what makes it, an experience like that so special to me. When you can laugh at work, like genuinely laugh at work.
Of course,
that's an additional blessing.
Yeah. Like, and I always ask everyone that comes on, like, do you have stories from behind the scenes that you want to share that people wouldn't know, that are watching the show? They're like, you get into these characters and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes because we're not there. Like you said, like live shows, they would actually see some of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But on a tape show, you're not getting to see any of that. I mean, you work with a live studio audience as well, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So we got a lot of that. Immediate feedback, which was great, but some things, were pre-taped. But this one, it was just a whole week of rehearsal. Like, the way this dude carried off the storyline was just special to me. Yeah,
definitely. And now going into Good Girls a little bit, did you actually watch the series till the end?
I didn't. I bailed. I'm a raging narcissist. So I gave it a few episodes after I left, and then I took off, but I really enjoyed the show. Like, I was really thankful and proud to be a part of it because I think it was great entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah,
And the way it run from the exec producer on down, like she set a tone for the show, and everybody was on board. Like it was really, I was really happy to be a part of it.
yeah. I mean, I think in the last season, it felt a little bit rushed. And I think that had a little bit to do with the whole COVID situation,
Right.
with the filming and stuff. It felt just a little
Yeah.
bit rushed. But other than that, we thought the series was phenomenal. It was really, really cool to watch.
Tell me there was a bit of a drop off when Turner was, after Turner's.
Of course.
There was a little bit. Come,
Yeah, of course there was.
A little bit, Thomas.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Once Turner was done, we were like, oh, that's it. We're done. We can't watch this anymore. I was like, they killed Gibbs. They killed Gibbs. We couldn't even call you Turner because we were so used to the name Gibbs from Men at Work. So we were like, they killed Gibbs. What are they doing?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but you got to work with a lot of big name people. I mean, Christina Hendricks was on that show.
Yeah.
Reno Wilson was on that show as well. I've actually had contact with him. I'm trying to get him on the show, but I've had contact with him where he's actually sent us a video for like a kind of a Christmas wish and stuff like that.
Oh, great.
So I want to get him on the show.
He's a gem of a human being. Like his humanity may exceed his talent, and the talent is immense. But he's a gem of a human being, and the goddess Christina Hendricks, and and Retta, and is Whitman, May Whitman. I mean, and then Montana, Manny, like really good ensemble, and they brought in great people as well. And I'm a big fan of all of their stuff, really.
Yeah. Now, so when you're working with these people, because you've actually been in Crimson Tide, you got to work, I guess, alongside Denzel Washington. Like, do you get to actually meet these people on set, or is this kind of like you film scenes where you're not close to them, get to meet them? How does that go?
With Denzel, I try to give him a few notes because I saw he was doing something. I'm like, I try to pull him to the side, and then security came over. I don't know what that was about, and asked me to leave set. With that situation, I never really got to sort of like having a personal connection. So it's just a little bit of stuff on set. Sometimes I'm able to sort of get a sort of like a personal rapport going. Like I was blessed during shooting Rebel that I'm a big fan of Andy Garcia, and we actually got to spend some like personal time together, off set, and sort of like chop it up and talk about life and talk about acting and this and that. And so that kind of stuff really sort of, sits well with me, man. So I'm grateful for this life that I'm having.
Yeah. And you got to work also with, I guess, Matthew Perry on Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah. I've been fortunate to work with him twice because we met initially. We did a show called Studio. I forget what Live Studio, something. It was an Aaron Sorkin show years ago, which was, great to be a part of. And then, so we had a little interaction then, and then Matthew and King Tommy Shlamy brought me on for the Sunshine Show. So that was nice to be a part of too. Kid works hard.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we also see. What's that? Yes, he's Canadian. Yes.
Is he Toronto?
I don't know if he's Toronto. I don't think he's Toronto. He might be West Coast. I could be wrong. He might be on the West Coast of Canada, maybe Vancouver, somewhere around there. But I'm not.
I know it's a big country, but there's only like 2,200 of you Canadians, right?
No,
there's very small population.
We have 37 million people here.
Oh shite! There's so much fake news going on right now. I saw something on CNN. I'm telling you that said it was only 3,200 people in all of Canada. So you're saying that's wrong?
That is totally wrong. We have 37 million people in Canada.
Okay, respect.
We're at 10. So we're a tenth of the population of the U.S., but our land mass is actually bigger than the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I heard the report wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of land over there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. We have tons of land here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were actually an amateur boxer in England when you were in school there, right?
Yeah. For half a semester.
Yeah.
Half a semester. I was scheduled to do 2 fights. I did one, got the decision. And then in the second fight, my opponent must have heard about what happened in the first fight and ducked me. Didn't even show up to the second fight. Between you and I, though, and whoever's listening, I was super happy about that because I'm really a peaceful human being. And so I have no really sort of animosity towards folks. But I do love the sport of boxing, like the physical aspect of it. I think it's a beautiful sport. But I really the the aggression that can come with it sometimes is a turnoff to me.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I just had one fight and I got out of there.
Yeah. But you are a huge sports fan. I have read that you are a huge sports fan. What's your favorite sport?
I'd probably say basketball. Basketball. Then I would go with American football, and then probably tennis. Yeah, love to watch these.
Do you have a favorite team?
I do. I jump around like House of Pain. Right now, this season, I'm gonna root for the Warriors because I do like their brand of basketball. It's like super team oriented, and I like that. And football, I'm rooting for the Steelers, and they are frustrating me because they just tied with the Detroit Lions. Are you watching the league at all?
Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see it, but
Indianapolis
Colts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
So I'm a Colts fan for the NFL, but NBA, of course, our Toronto Raptors, 2019 NBA champions. We got to see them win a championship.
Oh, I had forgotten that.
But it was all because of Kawhi Leonard, who also went to LA after the championship. Yeah. He was a big reason that we won that championship. So
how about you? What are your favorite sports? What do you
I'm a big baseball fan. I coach baseball with I work in the actual school system, so I coach high school baseball. I'm working with the Blue Jays Care Foundation right now that we get to do a baseball. It's kind of a program for special needs kids and a program called Girls at Bat. So it's going to be able to provide baseball training for girls because they don't really get the opportunity in schools to have that kind of sport. So I'm working with that right now.
Yo, you're doing huge stuff with your life, and that's amazing, King.
Yeah.
Continue success and satisfaction with that. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's so dope, man.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. I just actually did our training yesterday, which was really, really cool. And then we're going to be putting into effect after the Christmas break ends for us, and we go back to school again in January. Then we're going to have the special needs kids start their program. So it's a lot of fun.
What did the training entail? What do you mean? You said you just did it.
So we had a virtual training session with the Blue Jays Care Foundation, and they just walked us through inclusivity and connecting people together, and basically some drills that we could run with these students and a bunch of that stuff. So I'm a baseball fan. I played baseball for 14 years, and I coach it as well. So I don't need the basic skill. I didn't need to learn any of that from them. But at the stuff that they did on the side with the inclusivity and all that stuff was really, really cool to see.
Yeah, nice, man. Dope.
Yeah.
Forgive my ignorance. The Toronto Blue Jays are still there, right?
Oh, they are. Yes, they're a very good team. They're a young team, but they're very, very good. They missed the playoffs by one game this year, which was really frustrating for us.
Yeah.
But looking forward to the future and what they're going to be doing.
I feel you, man. Nice.
Yeah. What do you have any upcoming projects that you want to share with us?
But speaking of sports stuff, like I was saying, like I was fortunate to be a part of this HBO. I think it's either for HBO Straight or HBO Max. It has something to do with the Lakers in the '80s. I don't know if it even has a title yet. So I think that might be coming out in the spring sometime. So you all can look for that. Anything if you see some advertisements about Lakers '80s, and I get a small part of that, but it's a loaded cast, and I think it'll be entertaining to folks, especially who like basketball.
Yeah. So you play in an entertainment league, right? And you've won the MVP in that league.
I did for years.
Yeah.
And I won it twice, Thomas. I thought you said you were great with the research. I won it twice. Dude.
Yes, you did. You did. I even have it written down.
I need all the flowers I can get, dude.
Yeah,
I need all the flowers. I'm so empty.
So I was actually reading about you were a recipient of a Celebrity Honoree and Distinguished Sports Award from the Sickle Cell Disease Foundation. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and why the Sickle Cell Disease Foundation, is that important to you?
It is important because I have I call people that are close to me that have been for many years in my life, call them chosen family. And so I call him Chamley. And I have a chosen brother, I call him a Cho Bro, who's been afflicted with sickle cell his whole life. He and his brother were born with the gene, and we lost his brother a few years ago with sickle cell complications. But I'm happy. My other Cho, bro Dave, is still here with us, and this is a battle that I've seen him deal with. As long as I've known him. We met in college, and this is a disease that's it's debilitating. And I've asked him to describe what it's like to me, and from what he's described to me, he said it's like having like shards of glass in your veins all over your body. Like he's 6'4", substantial human being, but there are times where it knocks him down so hard, like he's immobile. He can't move, and there's no real cure for it yet or any of that stuff. So I definitely want us to figure out a way to to make people more comfortable, and if we can figure out a way to just overcome this affliction. Yeah. So that's why it's important to me, and in particular, I think it hits brown skinned people, in a higher rate maybe than other cultures, and so that's also another reason why I want us to figure that out. I feel like we got a lot of people on this planet. There's apparently 34 million people in Canada alone, so there's got to be enough folks to figure this thing out and overcome it.
And I always think about that with anything that's going on in the world, any kind of disease or sickness or whatever it is. There's so many brains on this planet. Why haven't we not figured out how to cure any of this stuff yet?
Yeah, you tell me, ask and tell me. I want to know. Come on, I want to do my part to help, but my intelligence is limited and this and that. So let me know what I can do to help.
I had this conversation with my wife a while ago, and I used to donate to the Weekend to End Breast Cancer, and it was a 60-kilometer walk. I had a friend that was involved in it, and they would walk the 60 kilometers over, I think it was a 2-day period, and they would raise money. And I think I want to say over $100 million was raised in 1 year for research in cancer. And I know we've come a long way. There's been a lot of development in cancer research and I guess the medications and drugs and what they can do to help it. But I just always wonder how it hasn't been just eradicated or cured or whatever it is with all this money that's been raised.
We share in that wonderment, King. It's like, yo, come on now. Like, are we doing something wrong? Like, what are we doing? Like, come on, we putting a lot of energy. There's a lot of, sentiment behind it. There's a lot of money behind it. Like, come on, let's go. Like, what else do we have to do? So I hope we do figure, these things out so we can all live healthy, vibrant lives.
Yeah.
I want that for all of us.
Yeah. Everybody should be, healthy, happy, and just be able to just live life the way it's intended to be, right?
Yeah. I definitely want, that for all of us. And I'm willing to, lend my energy and efforts to make that happen as much as possible.
Yeah.
So that's how I got involved with it years ago. I've been less involved with it recently, but I still care about people. I still care about people.
I find it's hard because, you kind of got to pick where you want to be, which ones you want to help out and which ones you want to, donate to and all this, because there are so many. And anytime you go to a grocery store or whatever, it's like, do you want to donate here? Do you want to donate here? Do you want to donate here? And it's like, where does it, where do you draw a line? And not in a bad way where it's like, I give so much to so many different charities, like, what charities keep coming out and who do I help? Who's most important? And you'll never be able to differentiate who's the most important out of all of this.
I mean, I have now recently, now I've prioritized now because I think unionizing strippers is a big cause for me now. And so that has sort of been, I just thought about this last night too, that might be my charge for the next year or so, just trying to get, those adult entertainers unionized, because I think there are some benefits in, that, and that's something that there's a need there. So, again, like you said, it depends on what your passion is.
Yeah.
And so that's a passion of mine just as of last night.
Yeah. Okay. So, and for all the names so we'll get back into like the people that you have worked with on set. And don't want to put anybody down or anything like that, but do you have a favorite person that you've worked with?
Let's put people down. Come on, some
Yeah,
people deserve to be brought down a peg.
because we're looking for the Adam Bush one, right? So Adam can listen to this.
No, that whole thing, that whole minute at work, like we were blessed to have like a nice core four that got along. Like I feel like, we rocked on set together, but we'd also spend time together offset. So, if you felt any sort of like chemistry from the show, it was, I think it was real. And then as soon as you asked me that question, initially what jumps out in my mind is I was blessed to work with James Caan for like 4 years on a show called Las Vegas. And to work with this, icon and this legend was great. And he was so funny, like a great storyteller, and a real talent and a real sort of actor's actor. And he always tried to fight for the integrity of the show. And that's something I appreciated about him. And then personally too, we had a little interaction where he literally took me under his wing and shepherded me when I was, hurting about something personal I was going through. And so this is someone that, a memory that is still dear to me. So I really appreciate my time with him.
And you also got to work with J.K. Simmons. How was that working with him?
J.K.'s a beast.
Yeah.
J.K. is a real beast. Like I think he and Breckenmeyer had a relationship. That's why we were fortunate enough to work together on Men at Work. But J.K. is like, who can I equate him to? Just somebody who is like plugged in, works hard, super professional, and it's just an uber talent. I mean, just craziness to me. I'm trying to find a sports analogy to him. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's a LeBron James type. That's somebody who I sort of get, I feel like who just works hard and it's just like this exceptional talent. Like JK he's the real deal.
Well, it was funny to see him on the show because we were like, okay, we saw him. He was in Spider-Man as well, right? In the Marvel universe. And then we were like, oh, he's on the show too. I was like, this is great. So of course we recognized Danny from the 70s show. And then Adam was actually on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That was a big one for him, where a couple of our podcasters actually recognized him from there when we had him as a special guest because we didn't actually tell who was coming on. We were like, this is going to be a surprise for everybody. Nice. And then a couple of them surprised were actually said, oh, yeah, I remember him from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So nice. I was like, okay, I know these guys from Men at Work because I was like, we watched that a lot. So I was like, it's a great show. So okay, so I don't want to take up too much of your time, right. But you
super busy over here.
Yeah. Are you big on social medias or anything that you want to give out where people can find you, follow you, anything like that?
No, not really. If I would like to leave any message to anybody, it's like, can we please just be tolerant and loving towards each other, and respectful towards each other, and sort of support each other in all of our individual journeys in life.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Love that statement. Usually people give out their social media. I love if people give a positive message. That's fantastic. Yeah. And like I said, maybe in the future we'll get you and Adam on together. Maybe we'll even get Michael Cassidy on the show as well. We can see if we can get that too as well. So have a whole Men at Work conversation. Because that's
I love that.
Great show. So I'll talk to Adam, see if we can set something up as well. I got you on my email now, so I'll get in contact with you as well. I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. I was looking forward to it all day today. Actually, since you've messaged me back when I got the email the first time, I said to my wife, Gibbs got back to me. I was like, we're gonna do the show, and she was like, oh, that's awesome. So
King, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. It was really, really cool. So thank you very much for coming on. That's going to do it for today's episode. As always, stay safe, be kind to each other, and we will see you later.
I'm with that. Peace.